Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, wherever you happen to be. Welcome to another edition of the Living World of Darkness Rage Across New York. The scene is set within one Leah Krykos's own student apartment. I can imagine it's rather less furnished than anybody would want, but I imagine there is like some sort of kitchen anywhere.
There's a kitchenette, yeah. There's a little tiny one in the back. There's not even a bedroom. There's like a nook that has a curtain in front of it off to the side. So you don't actually see the bed, but she knows it's right over there behind that curtain. Yeah, there's like a couch, a TV, and there's a little desk over there that has, you'd think a laptop would be on it, but it has a bunch of supplies to make jewelry on it. It's her mini workspace. Yeah, it's just a tiny little place.
You see Alan, he is wearing his hipster attire with plaid shirt, the ponytail, as well as rose-colored glasses, and actually in his hand he's carrying something that he just recently purchased from the 24/7 liquor store down the street. It's in a paper bag. He goes ahead and puts it on the very, very small table, hoping that it won't fall off.
It's not unstable. I mean, she has decent stuff. It's just not fancy.
Wobble, 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 wobble. It's like, no, that's a wobble.
I know what a wobble is, but it's not that bad. Her dad made sure she had enough money to at least get things in her place.
He goes ahead.
Go ahead.
He goes ahead and takes the wine bottle out. It's a small wine bottle, a Pointe Noir, and Alan just goes ahead and sets it there and looks over to Leah and says, "Don't suppose you have any actual glasses, do you?"
She kind of looks down for a second and sort of smiles, and she's like, well, I have glasses, but I can't promise you wine glasses."
You know what? We can make do.
Sorry, it's kind of hard for me to get that in here, the whole under 21 thing. So, yeah, she'll go into her little itty bitty kitchen. It's got the world's smallest stove and a microwave on the one sliver of counter that there is. And open one of the cupboards and rummage around in a set for a second in there, and she comes back in with two regular looking ordinary glasses. The best I got. I'm sorry.
Would have settled for coffee mugs, but that'll do.
It could be. I have those too. No, I mean it could be like paper cups. That would be even worse.
Now, if it was paper cups, we wouldn't have to worry about cleaning it up afterwards. But it's fine. It's fine. Bring them over. Set them down.
Yeah. She walks over there with them and puts them on the little. There's like a little table in front of the couch, and she sets them there.
Alan's actually looking at the furniture and simply saying, "You don't have anything close to the ground, do you?"
A table closer to the ground?
No, I mean like sitting on the ground, beanbag style.
Oh no, I don't need beanbags. I should have thought of that. That would have been like even cheaper.
Did you not tell me? Did you not tell me that if you were out of any furniture, you would pick beanbags? I thought that was a thing with you. I thought when I walked in here,
I was being
I'd see
traditional.
at least
Okay, forgive me.
of their purple, red, and vanilla color. You may ask me what vanilla color is. It's kind of off-white.
Well, evidently I wasn't thinking that way at the time. So forgive me.
You're forgiven.
But we can always move the couch. It's not like it's a big, heavy couch. We can shove it back and just sit on the floor.
Yeah, let's do that. Alan's going to go ahead and walk to one side of the couch. And
same. Just go to the other side. Just help him push it back.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
She'll grab the cushions off, though, because there was like some pillows and stuff on there. She'll grab one and throw it to him. And then she'll grab one and drop it on the ground so she can sit on it.
Yeah. Alan will go ahead and take the cushion from the little couch sofa type thing, put it onto his back against the wall, and sort of lean against it. Now this feels like home.
No, I thought it was a good idea to have a couch so if someone stayed over, like if Callie I didn't know about Callie so much per se, but you never know what could happen. If you have a friend stay over, you want to have some place for him to stay. At least they can just sort of crash. Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure. That's why there's a couch. Now you think I'm like some kind of, hypocrite over beanbag chairs.
I've seen worse sins in my life, my dears. You're just not taking care. Come here. It's gonna go ahead and pat the go ahead and take the cushion away from you. Set it next to him.
Sure, go along with that. It's also where the alcohol's at, so we'll follow the wine. But I'm so sneaky.
Say again?
I said that's also where the wine's at, I assume, so. Follow the wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. Ellen will go ahead and start to take a drink out of this plastic cup. It's sort of it might be a sweet taste, but it's much more of a bitter taste. It may start out as very, very sweet, but it leaves you with a bitterness afterwards, something that stings on the tip of your tongue.
She's gonna take a drink of this and just kind of let it slowly settle in her mouth, and then obviously swallow it, and just kind of be like, "That's interesting." It's kind of like, I don't know, like those things that are really sweet on the outside, but then kind of sour almost in the middle. Kind of weird. But, it's cool. Honestly, it can't taste much anyways. Bar. I was just drinking already. You know how that is.
True, but I'm starting to get over that.
Well, apparently I'm the darts queen, though.
Yes, you're the darts queen. I saw you go ahead and throw that bullseye.
Yeah, well, it took 2 tries to get anywhere with it, really.
No, it doesn't matter how many tries you have to take, just so long as the end result is fantastic.
Really? Because I don't know if that's the truth. I mean, there are sometimes you just need your first try to be really good. Like when you take a test, you don't get the chance to take it 8 times.
True, but you've already probably practiced and done several hundreds of tests beforehand. I mean, there's always been the study, the preparation, and then the actual examination. I'm saying it's not the first test.
Well, not the first test ever, but the first test on that subject. Just as an example.
Yes, but it's not the first time that you've had to study such a subject.
No,
it doesn't matter what subject
not.
it is.
Okay, fine. You win. Congratulations, you win the conversation.
I don't have to win every single conversation.
Well, you just want to win that one, it seems.
Okay, fair enough. Next conversation, you get to win.
Only if I get to earn it. I don't want to win without having actually earned it. I would be offended if I thought somebody had held back from, letting me win the darts. If they had held back just so I could win, I would have not liked that.
Oh, don't worry. I'll make sure you earn that win. Alan goes ahead and raises his glass and says, "Clicky, clicky."
Sure, we will clink our whatever the hell kind of cups they are. Because they've been glass and plastic so far.
One of them is plastic, one of them is glass.
There you go. We don't have a matching set here, ladies and gentlemen. But there is clinking of some variety going on.
Mm-hmm.
Are we toasting?
Yes.
to unpleasant sex in bathrooms when your sister's doing it?
If you want to toast fast,
Not really, no.
I wouldn't suggest it.
I wish I could burn it out of my head.
Can you think about the child that would come out of such a consummation? If it was a boy, it'd be a very, very pretty boy. If it was a girl, I have no idea.
Are we blaming the child for where they were conceived, or is it more just out of the pretty man and my sister?
Usually it's more of the parents rather than where the conception took place.
It normally is, but I wasn't sure what you meant in this situation. No, there's no doubt that be a cute baby. I mean, they're both pretty, in my opinion, both good looking.
He's good looking, wears a pretty damn nice suit, so I'm guessing he's sort of successful. She's the vigilant beau, so you got that.
Yeah, she's something, all right. No, he's a PI, actually. And he just hired me to assist him, actually, to help him. So, yay! Making decent money in a job that's not, you know, me getting drowned in eggs and bacon every day. At least just some days.
Well, looks like you're moving up in the world from sausages and eggs into literal human representations of everything that is bad and evil in the world. Spouses that, you know, cheat on other spouses.
Yes. Yes, give me time and I can tell some of those wonderful stories that he was telling.
Well, what kind of stories do you want to tell?
That's a really good question. I think I'd rather tell stories of life and hope. But that's not the path I'm on at the moment, clearly.
You don't find your future very hopeful?
I think it's getting better. I just mean in terms of this job. I mean, I just don't want to get like jaded and weird because of it. I'm already far too practical of a person as it is.
Do you mind if I give you some advice, some pointers?
On what?
On keeping your hope up.
I'll listen. I can't promise I'll do them, but I'll listen.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Let me hold your hand for a second.
The song goes through my head. Okay, sure. She's holding the glass in one hand and gives her hand in the other.
Okay. Alan goes ahead and takes Leah's hand and places it on his chest, actually. And Alan's going to breathe in once, twice, and at the third time, he'll actually start to say something and simply say, everybody has something inside them. It resides right here in the chest. It's an engine. It's an engine that keeps you moving. But you got to make sure to keep it supplied. And you notice that Alan actually has an internal counter to his head. You realize that his other hand is counting down his breaths, actually. And if you're perceptive enough, you'll realize that he breathes in 13 times. And at the end of it, he proceeds to breathe rather normally. But after that 13th breath, you can feel Alan's heart pumping in his chest. It's become more pronounced, more prominent. At the beginning of your exercise, you can just feel Alan and his chest muscle. But after a bit, you can feel that internal cardio muscle start to pump and pump and pump like a huge goddamn steam engine until on the 13th one, it settles again.
Okay, we'll just assume that she did notice because she was actually paying attention through the whole thing. And forgive me if it sounds kind of dumb. I'm not quite sure what you're. I mean, it's cool what you just did and stuff. I'm just not quite sure what you're trying to prove with it.
Here's what I'm trying to prove. Each and every person has this ability inside them. Everybody has a heart.
Yeah.
It's a facto. It causes us to do very silly things, very stupid things, very evil things, but each one of us has a heart. And each every one of us wants to reach out into the world. And we want to see the best things in the world. We want to see the best things in the world, and we want to construct the best things in the world. And every single action that you take starts with the heart, starts with this internal engine. As long as it keeps beating, as long as you keep breathing and filling it, it'll do you well.
So you're
If you
saying.
need any kind of hope.
So you're saying just kind of you're saying when it seems like hope might be going, just boil it down to something very simple and just breathe.
Yeah. Alan goes ahead and offers his hand. Let me show you.
Okay. I'm not sure what you offered a hand. Okay, so I'm not quite sure what you're going for here. Just take the hand? I don't know.
Yeah, take the hand.
Yeah, okay.
I want you to do
okay,
the same
you got it.
exercise. Try to do the same exercise that I did. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Make sure to breathe in with the nose and out through the mouth. Make sure you inhale and exhale. Make sure you get that engine really pumping.
Why 13? Just out of curiosity.
13 is a very powerful number.
You hear it's unlucky most of the time.
12 is a very powerful number. Adding one extra, just make sure that you complete the process.
I feel like you're leaving something out of this story.
Well, you can breathe in and you can breathe out, but I'm not going to be able to ascertain whether or not you're doing it right until you place your hand, until you let me feel your heart.
Very smooth. Very smooth indeed. Okay, I'll bite. She'll take his hand and place it right in the upper chest there.
Mhm.
And she'll close her eyes. And repeat the process as he showed her. And just concentrate on that. She's not even paying attention to him at this point. Breathe in, breathe out, repeat.
Repeat, repeat, repeat. You notice that Alan's hand on your upper chest, at first it felt rather uncomfortable, as if it really didn't belong. However, the longer you leave it there, the more comfortable it is there, the warmer it actually is. The first coming out of the outside, it might have been rather cold and clammy, but now at room temperature, it's quite inviting. And you notice the heartbeat. You notice that your heart is in fact beating, but it's beating against Alan's hand. You feel it doubling, not just the initial pump, but the actual reverb off of Alan's hand as well. Until on the 13th one, while in the beginning you were rather shallow, you eventually began to breathe in deeper, inhale and exhale more, until eventually your whole diaphragm was moving up and down with Alan's hand, until the 13th one you eventually let it go.
And on that 13th breath, should her eyes stay closed a little bit longer? just a little bit. Kind of like she doesn't want it to end, but at the same time, obviously it has to. And so she opens her eyes. And I imagine probably has a strange look of calm on her face.
Hi.
Hi.
I like your hair. It's very nice.
Thank you. It's that color for a reason. Well, it's colored for a reason, aside from just that I like it. After my mom died and then Kelly disappeared, I was really angry for a long time. And that's when I started playing with my hair color. Naturally, it's the same color as Callie's. You just can't tell.
No, I can definitely see that. You notice that Alan still has his hand on your chest, and he apparently is much closer to you by inches. And he's got his head actually lowered quite a bit. His head tilting towards your forehead.
Okay.
Not really looking at you in the eye right now.
Well, she's going to continue anyway because there's, yeah. Just she's going to notice these things, but for the moment, just finish what she was going to say. She's like, my dad found a way. So, something for me to focus on, something for me to release most of the anger, you know? And now I leave my hair this way because, number one, I like it, but number two, I don't want to go back there again, where anger's just running my life and everything I do is negative and angry.
Breathe. People forget how to breathe. It's amazing, I know, but people forget how to actually breathe. That's why it's so goddamn amazing when I get people to breathe 13 actual breaths and how amazing they feel afterwards. Just breathe and talk. Breathe and talk. It's healthy.
Are you my therapist? Is this something you've tried on a lot of people?
This is something that my family taught me about how to deal with how me. This is what I do. This is what I do to control myself.
Fair enough. You have a life that's filled with more anger than me, I imagine. It's just called something different.
We all have things that we need to work through. We all have old hurts, old angers. Some of us never get over it. Some of us hold grudges for a very, very long time, and you don't need to be half a rage monster to have those kinds of feelings.
Yes, I believe the term was 9-foot rage monster that I've heard recently.
What do you think?
Of the 9-foot rage monster?
Let's not think about the 9-foot rage monster. Let's think about you and your anger. And when he says that, he's going to go ahead and, again, not looking at you, still head bowed, but touching your forehead just a tiny bit.
I think it's still there. But it's not as nearly as much as it used to be. I'll have to tell you about how that came to be later, if you're interested.
I have all the time in the world right now.
I don't want to tell right now.
What do you want to do right now?
Well, it doesn't have to be all focused on me. We could talk about you.
All right. What do you want to know?
How about some basic things? And at this point, he still has his hand on her chest. She's going to actually put her hand over his and just try to meet his eyes. But if he's kind of avoiding that still, then don't. But don't push that point. But and just be like, can I know your last name?
Stewart. Ellen Stewart.
I mean, just, all right. Well, nice to meet you, Ellen Stewart.
It's nice to meet you again, Miss Krikos.
Yeah, my last name came up kind of naturally because everyone knows Callie's already.
Let's see.
How old are you? You asked me already once. I figured if it's a fair question to ask back.
Fair enough. I'm about 25 years old.
About?
Give or take a few. Not many records of my birth.
Oh.
I was born a flower child. There you go. That's the word you want to use.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I had a mother and I had a father, and they did not live together very long. I was eventually adopted by my aunt and my uncle. I had 2 older half-brothers and 2 older half-sisters. The sisters came from my mother, and the brothers came from my father.
Are you still close to them?
At this time, no. They moved on to different areas of the country. California, Colorado. Some still reside in Texas, but not many. The older brothers, they went to military school, actually. Navy, Army, Air Force, SEALs, the like. The youngest half-brother actually served for some time over in the Gulf Wars. He came back.
That's good.
He's a tough son of a bitch.
Well, why don't you talk to them? And if I'm getting too personal, just tell me. But
No. I still love them. Don't get me wrong, I still love them, but I just grew up a little bit differently than they. I wasn't on the same type of career path they were. I mean, my aunt and my uncle looked at me and said, nah, he's not going to make it. So they kind of gave up on me at a very, very young age. They didn't think I'd have much to do. In fact, when they caught me selling mushrooms, they threatened to throw me into military school, actually. That was a very, very stressful part of my life.
oh God, can't imagine it.
Arizona wasn't all that bad. A little dry. Not freezing. A little dry. And plus, Roswell is a fantastic place for my people. Little did I know.
The flower children. I wouldn't quite go. I would guess that's not so much what you meant, though.
No.
I don't think there's a whole lot of those in Roswell. It's probably more the X-Files people.
There was definitely a subculture right there. It was a weird and fun place for a long time, until there was an altercation, and, well, things changed very quickly for me. Technically, they would call it the first change, but that's kind of a lie, since I've had a lot of changes in my life.
But they're referring to a specific change with that, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. And I find that quite bullshit, actually. Here's the thing. People go through a lot of different changes in their life. Who you were 5 years ago is not who you are now. And who you will be in 10 years is going to be a hell of a lot different than how you were at 10 years old. Time changes people.
Yeah.
Ipso facto.
Sure, it does. It's just that one's kind of a momentous change, and I can tell you for sure that Callie's changed my life forever. It didn't just change hers, it changed mine.
I can believe that.
Two girls who were raised practically as twins, you know, and suddenly she's not there. She can't go to school with me anymore, you know? So I maybe you don't see it as like the change that, you know, they want you to, but from my point of view, it really is. It was a major changing point in my life.
I'm glad you did have your sister.
Wish you'd had yours.
Nah. My half-sisters, they were already grown and outside of the house before I even started walking, which was weird.
Well, you know, Callie's technically only half. Just we might as well be, you know? I don't look at all like Dr. Mega.
I don't look at all like my aunt or my uncle.
Family's family, though, right?
Like I said earlier, it's not the blood relation. It's who took the time and the effort to sit you down and say, this is how the world is run. It's who raised you, who reared you. Blood helps, but blood's not everything.
Well, for me, it would have been Grandma and Grandpa. Mom was only ever barely there. And Dad. I mean, Dad did too, you know, but by the time I was 5, Mom and Dad were divorced, and, you know, of course, Mom being the guru, you know, she got to choose how her kids were raised as compared to my dad, the kinfolk. You know, it's a story told a lot, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Ellen's forehead now touching yours, actually. He starts to move up just a tiny little bit, and the top of his nose touches the tip of your nose. And he starts to talk in very, very hushed whispers. Breathe.
Breathe.
It was a knife. They were going to kill me with a goddamn knife. I didn't do jack shit to them. And they were going to tear my throat out with a goddamn knife. I got angry. I didn't kill him. Wish I had. Maybe it's a good thing that I didn't. Somebody else was there. Somebody stopped me. But I always think about that knife and how I hate it. I hate knives. I hate guns. I hate weapons. I hate them.
I really don't know how to use them very much myself. I'm supposed to learn how to use a bow, though.
It's quick. It's quick and it's final and it's lethal. Nothing should be that quick or that lethal. Nothing. When you're just walking around in civilization, when there's not a wartime going on, people should not have that kind of power. But they do, and they use it. And hell, I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't say that I didn't support my right to bear arms. It's just people are so quick to take that weapon and use it on their fellow man. Much too quick.
Ideally, I agree. But this isn't an ideal world. That's the problem. Too many people with guns out there, too many people with knives. And nothing's going to get them to give up their weapons because they like the power it gives them.
That's the thing. It wasn't even a full moon. All the crazies come out on the full moon. I mean, it's a bona fide fact that I knew growing up. All the lunatics came out when there was a full moon. 911 calls go through the roof during the full moon.
Sure.
It was a half moon, gibbous moon. And it even wasn't even that hot. Usually when it gets really, really hot, that's when the crime rate goes up. Because people are agitated, people are frustrated, people are angry, people are much more quick-tempered, hot-tempered, and they lash out a lot more readily. It wasn't even that hot. It was hot, but not that hot.
You know, it's funny. You seem to, for someone who says that you don't like it being called the first change, you know, with like the capital letters that you would just imagine being there. You don't like that, but yet you remember every vivid detail of it. It was clearly a turning point for you, whether you like to admit it or not.
It is a turning point for everybody, yes.
It sounds like it might even merit the first change as a title.
It was, I believe it's just the most angriest I've ever been and felt, simply because beforehand I had nothing to judge it on. Beforehand I was not angry. Beforehand I was just a guy with rose-colored glasses. Beforehand I was just a stupid hippie. That's what they called me. I embraced it. Because hell, it gave me some kind of identity. And in goddamn Arizona, there was nobody like me. I kind of took that uniqueness and embraced it.
And honestly, you know, I mean, sometimes, you know, the words define us, and sometimes we define the words. It seems at that point in time you chose to be the words that they gave you. Do you still do the same thing now? I mean, and she kind of reaches up with her, she puts the glass of wine down and reaches up to touch his glasses and just be kind of, they're kind of rosy there.
And we'll go ahead and take off the glasses actually and sort of look at you now quite in the eye. I like your eyes. They're very pretty.
They're like my mom's.
Your mom had very pretty eyes.
So are yours.
Thank you.
But I'm not hiding mine behind glasses.
Oh, that is the thing. That is truly the thing. Things start out sweet, but things can also have a very, very bitter inside. When I first came into the city, I totally embraced every evil thought I had inside, because that felt the most natural thing in the world. And then, well, things got worse, but then they got better very damn quickly. Were you here a few months ago when Ben Rickshaw got arrested?
Is he one of the ones I met the other day?
He's a Wendigo.
I don't know who he is, so I don't know. But honestly, I've only been here like a month, so. So probably
All
not.
right.
We'll say probably not.
Okay, well, fair enough. I used to have a packmate with a very big mouth who was the most racist son of a bitch you've ever seen. I told him, your mouth is going to get you killed one of these days. Well, it did. In anger. In anger. He died in anger. He didn't die to the worm. He didn't die defending the Karen. He died to rage. He died to a stupid tribal prejudice and conflict.
So did somebody kill him because of what he did, or?
He ran his mouth, and he ran his mouth to the wrong person. And that person, Ben, couldn't hold it. He couldn't hold his rage inside, so he lashed out and killed him. Killed my packmate.
I'm very sorry. I mean, you described it in really unpleasant ways, but he was still your packmate. So I'm sorry.
He believed in me. He may have been a racist son of a bitch, but I thought I was getting to him. He believed in what I believed. He thought that he could help me, prop me up, bring me someplace high.
Do you want to be someplace high?
Not anymore.
But you did then.
I had wild, wild ideas. It's mostly because I'm a tribesman. I'm kind of responsible for a lot of people. I brought a lot of people with me to the Sept anyways. A lot of people who were just as displaced as me at one point. In fact, I could probably see some of the younger ones to just be like myself just a few years ago. Hell, little Anthony doesn't know where his father went.
That happens a lot, though, honestly. People that, disappear out of your life, not just dads, but, moms, sisters, loved ones, I'm not saying it's any better for anyone, but God, Kelly didn't even know who her dad was until she was 18.
Fair enough. Here's the thing. Those families are looking to me to be stabilizing, to make sure that the transition from Texas to New York is as smooth as goddamn possible. We're still going through elementary school applications as we speak. People are getting new driver's licenses, new identities if they have to. Brand new lives, brand new jobs. Some people had to give up fantastic careers. Some of these guys were goddamn bankers that are now working concrete.
So why did you all have to leave? Because to me, what you're describing sounds like a major exodus, and there's usually a reason for that.
There was. A few years ago, after bouncing around for a little bit, after having the change, I went ahead and approached one of the Seps down south in Texas, actually. They grew me up. I did my rite of passage there. I became a Cleith there. And we were all looking at the Enron oil fields just to the west of us, and we were getting kind of itchy about that because the oil fields were simply getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and a lot of Gaia's natural resources were getting pumped out of her. And our theurges told us that it was all going to come to a head at one point or another. They told us that the very ground underneath us, our Karen, would turn at any moment if we didn't do something. So they tried to do something. Didn't work. We all lost a lot of people. A lot of good warriors. So after they tried to infiltrate that dark place, and after they did not come back, a lot of the elders were looking at everyone and simply saying, you need to leave. You need to leave now. If you do not leave now, you are forever lost. And I wanted to stay. I wanted to stay, and I wanted to fight. They didn't let me. They told me to take my kinfolk and leave. They told me that I was going to be responsible for them. So I followed them. They told me to go. I went. I learned how to drive a Greyhound bus very damn quickly, and we left.
It's a useful skill.
Very useful.
You weren't in charge. It was your job to listen to your elders.
I don't think they realized the kind of responsibility they were heaping on me because, like I said, I got families that are looking at me saying, where do we go to next? And I swear to God, when little Andy ended up on my bus and I couldn't tell him where his father was, I was devastated. More devastated than him because he didn't even understand what was going on. He was so young, he didn't realize that his daddy wasn't coming back anymore.
In reality, he might have been lucky just to get out. I mean, I'm not saying that his dad being missing isn't tragic and horrible. But he's alive, possibly because of you.
Thank you. They tell me that's a comfort.
I'm more just stating a fact. If you find it comforting, that's up to you. I don't even begin to understand the things you have to do because, you know, well, obvious reasons.
You feel the pressure in your forehead. Go ahead and lift. And you see Alan go ahead and plant a kiss right there where that pressure used to be and say, you're sweet. You're very sweet.
I don't know, I guess. But thank you.
You don't believe you're sweet?
I just don't think of myself that way.
Oh, believe me, you taste wonderful.
She just starts giggling to herself at that point. We were talking an 18-year-old here. She's going to giggle at the obvious things there. And eventually, you know, after a minute or two, just kind of stop and calm down. And she'll be like, well, I did put on my best vanilla lotion for you.
You can see that Alan goes ahead and tilts his head down, actually. And since you already have the one hand there, he's not going to go ahead and move it. What he does, he goes ahead and takes his free hand, takes a sip from his plastic wine glass, whatever you want to call it, sets it back down, brushes the hair off of the nape of your neck, and starts to nuzzle right there.
Right. Will be hasn't been holding her wine glass for a while anyway. But kind of reaches back up to sort of where his glasses used to be, actually, just kind of tracing along, because she wasn't touching his skin before. Before, it was just the glasses kind of touching them, and then he's removed the glasses, so therefore, just kind of tracing back over and then behind his ear. And then just she kind of pulls back a little, and she's like, so I was right then?
About?
That you had no particular reason for wanting privacy?
Oh, you think I have some kind of plan? No, I just do things as I see them from second to second.
Well, in that case, if you try my hair, it might taste like cotton candy.
You're sweet.
You keep saying that.
Because it's true.
Well, it's not always the easiest thing to try to find the positive. But I think I have to.
All you have to do is breathe. Start here. Go out.
Yeah, I know. Your head's still there.
Because you want it to be there.
She'll look down and move her hand so that the fingers are kind of intertwined. And be like, maybe.
Do you have to do anything tomorrow?
Well, I have to meet with Val and hope he won't tell me too many stories about the bathroom at like 9 a.m., but that's all of us. Well, I mean, what tomorrow's Friday? Well, I have class in the afternoon. Yeah, I don't have to work though, so that's a good thing. Aside from Val, I don't know. I haven't even gone in there yet. I need to go in and tell them that I have less hours free. So basically, the answer is I have a lot of things I'm doing. I'm always running in circles. If you look in my fridge, you're only going to find like yogurt, milk, and like that's it. I'm hardly ever here.
Maybe I can send somebody over to fill your fridge up. I got a young elderly lady that just absolutely loves to shop. I'll tell her to go to one of the co-ops and fetch you something fresh. Because
Oh, it's fine.
I know where all the good co-ops are.
It's not like I'm not eating. I just tend to eat on the run.
And that's not healthy.
You don't know that. I could be getting sushi and eating that on the run. You have no idea.
Sushi isn't all that healthy.
It's good for you with other things, though.
No. I'll get her to go ahead and make you some prepaid. I'll have her make something, put it in some Tupperware, and fill your fridge up. It'll be fine.
It's totally not necessary.
It may not be necessary, but it's what I want to do for you.
Meanwhile, why were you asking about tomorrow?
Because we got half a bottle of wine right here. And if we decide to drink until we pass out, I need some place to crash. The floor looks nice.
It's really kind of weird. The couch is actually more comfortable.
I'm used
So's
to
my bed, actually. But that's over there, and kind of you can't see it.
Nah. Why don't you bring some blankets out here?
She just kind of leans back from her. Just kind of just stares at him, just like, why do you not like comfortable things?
I drink coffee without any sweetener. I drink wine that's very bitter, and you're surprised when I say that I want to sleep on the floor?
I'm not asking. I'm not going for a surprise here. I'm asking why.
Well, first off, sweetener is expensive, and I kind of like the bitter taste of coffee. It lets me know it's actually working. Second off, Pointy Noir is the only wine that I can actually drink and not feel like a pretentious asshole. And as far as the floor has much more room than the couch. And if I sleep closer to your bed, people might talk.
You're really worried about talk, but nobody's here but me and you. Who's going to talk? Me? Or you? You can talk. That's really the only options here, unless there's a bug in here I don't know about. And I don't think Callie's sunk that low yet. And if she has, then that's her problem, because, you know, if she starts hearing things she doesn't want to hear, that's her problem. When she's the one who set up the bug.
Well, if you actually want to get comfortable with me after drinking yourself silly, join me on the floor.
You are a very interesting person.
I said comfortable, not too comfortable.
Well, you're welcome to stay here. I can tell you that either way.
Then I'll take you up on that offer.
Regardless of sleeping situation.
Ellen goes ahead and reaches for the bottle of wine. About a quarter full left. Just goes ahead and takes it by the bottle, takes it by the thin neck, downs it. You notice that he actually gulps quite a number of times, letting that bitterness tickle his throat until he goes ahead and says, "That's done."
Okay, well, apparently you're now supposed to be in a stupor, which doesn't seem to have happened.
Give it a few.
Well, I can say from personal experience, and so can you, because we also Callie the other day, that you can in fact be like you and also be in a stupor. It is in fact possible. It just takes a lot more. I'm not sure. I think she might have drank, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 bottles of wine that day.
Why was he drinking so much?
She had a bad day.
Fair dues.
But everything's okay now.
Oh, of course. Everything's okay now. I'm not going to be a sexist asshole at the moment. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
You're so thinking it. So thinking it, though. I could, like, see it coming out of your brain.
I don't have that particular gift yet, but I'll let you know when I do.
I can still see it. You don't need a gift. I think I'm the one who needs the gift here.
There's a certain ability amongst my aspects that deals with mental images, deals with, like, waking dreams. The idea is that you're not fully there. Your perspective is kind of stilted. You're awake, but you're also letting your mind kind of wander a little bit. It's within that flexible layer right there that you can move things around, images, memories, voices. It's where most people like to live, because that's where they can make most of their stuff up. It's where you can see anybody that you ever want. Living, dead, past, future, anybody. Everybody is here. Anybody that you ever loved, anybody that you ever remembered, right here, somewhere in here. You can bring that memory up, never be dead.
Well, I will say that dreams are very powerful things. I think most of them don't mean much, but then there are some that do. Some of them I think are just like, you playing out the events of the day in your head or something. But sometimes they really mean something. And then you got to figure out how that works. Like, got to figure out what it actually means to you or to the person who's dreaming it is really what's more important.
All right. How do you interpret that, flexible space?
Well, it sounds like a combination of sleeping and, well, dreaming and being awake, I guess. I mean, are we talking about like the space like where you're just barely not asleep yet, but you're kind of floating there?
A waking dream.
I mean, I don't think I've experienced that floating thing, but I've never actually done one of those things where I'm actually awake but really dreaming type things. I'm learning to have some control over my dreams.
Lucid dreaming?
Yeah, I'm learning it. I haven't quite gotten there yet, but I'm working on it.
It's an interesting skill to have.
There's a reason for it, though.
And? What, were you born on a gibbous moon?
To be honest, I'm not sure what kind of moon I was born under. No, I've picked up a few things, but a few areas, but in particular, I can read dreams a little bit. She's not actually meeting his eyes at this point. Kind of looking down, fumbling over her words. Possibly a little nervous.
Ellen's hands will go ahead and entwine with yours if it isn't already still entwined, and you feel it sort of squeeze, actually. I don't know what you're talking about, but you seem to have an awfully hard time saying it.
Probably because Callie didn't react very well. She made me go talk to a wasp stinger to make sure it was okay that I was learning it.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, look. You know about mages. I brought this up the other day. You should know they exist. Shaman.
Okay.
I'm not one of them, but I do know some, I guess you could call it magic, because what else would you call it when you can enter someone else's dreams and at least watch it and interpret?
Okay. Usually we just call that a gift and leave it at that.
I didn't learn it that way.
Well, I do suppose the kin don't exactly have that close connection with Gaia, and they're sort of.
I'm still connected to Gaia. I completely believe that I'm connected to Gaia. It's just not the same for me as for you. I have a different role to play.
No. That's not what I mean. I mean that my gifts, they just come. They are a part of me. Happens. When when I perform a gift, it's not me going ahead and acting anything. It's me letting the entire world act at once with me at the center. It's not that I'm the lever, I'm the fulcrum. I'm where the universe goes ahead and turns. And I learned it simply by being what I am. Simply by talking to my totem, asking it to teach me, asking it to imprint me to be the fulcrum for this effect.
Right. I understand how it works. I mean, I saw Dr. Mega actually ask the wolf spirit for a gift, because there's some that we can learn too, which I haven't, but he asked. But there are different like belief systems on how it works, but the way I see it is, I believe at least some of it comes from within. But it's all about, okay, the mages call it sorcery. It's not nearly as powerful as what they do, but it's useful.
Okay.
Like I said, I can read dreams. I guess this is kind of a warning because, well, if you fall asleep around me, it's entirely possible if I choose to do it, I could do it. And I wouldn't do it without your permission. Not going to do it without permission.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that you could literally become the girl of my dreams?
Not yet, anyway. That was a little cheesy,
I said, I wouldn't.
But I appreciate it.
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
I also make things.
Really?
Yeah. They're kind of like fetishes, except not the same thing. Well, I've always made jewelry. It's just something I like to do. I'm hoping to make a little business out of it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But I can put little effects in it.
You make the thing.
I make the thing, right?
You make the thing. Oh, you're a talent. You're a fetish maker. Fair enough.
Not exactly from the same thing, though.
But
But
I don't necessarily
close.
understand.
Same idea, though. Yeah.
I don't understand. You speak weird.
Well, honestly, my dad taught me this. This is my focus. It's what gave me something to do, at least long enough to calm down. Let's put it that way.
Well, if it helps you and doesn't hurt anybody else, I guess it's fine. It's just y'all are crazy.
Crazy, huh? Well, I have one I could show you, but, well, I don't think you want to see it because it's made of silver, so I'm just going to leave it where it is. But we'll just say that it makes it easier to walk through a crowd and not be noticed.
Blink. Okay, then.
I don't wear it out very much, obviously, for obvious reasons.
It's relationship with that substance is kind of complicated.
Which is why I'm not getting it out. And I don't honestly have any more around here, I promise you.
Okay, fair enough. It's not that it's deadly. I mean, it is deadly. It's just really pure. Really, really pure. I mean, it's probably the only all-spiritual thing this side of the gauntlet.
Well, as I can't afford gold at this point, I pretty much have been working in, like, steel, to be honest, so, you know. But
what kind of material do you work with? Because if you're looking for something a little bit more fancy, I could get it for you.
You don't have to buy me things. And it's cool. It's all good. Honestly, I'm happy with this stuff. I want something that, I don't know. I mean, some of the stuff I make is just beads and feathers, you know. It just depends on what my mood is. So
What's your mood right now?
I don't want to go play with my jewelry. I'm talking to you.
You want to go play with your Alan?
I have an Alan?
You have an Alan?
That's very possessive of me. I didn't even know I was that possessive.
I don't know. Do I have a Leah?
Oh, very offhanded. You might temporarily have a Leah. I can't promise the future at this point.
Well, for however long I hold the girl of my dreams in my car, I will feel happy.
All the bad music. Get out of my dreams.
Get out of my dreams.
So bad.
Into my car.
Back to the Beatles. Quick, back to the Beatles. Take a deep breath. Back to the Beatles. No, you're very charming.
I am.
Yeah,
and
you
you're
are.
very sweet.
But does it at all sound like a Black Fury? I'm supposed to be like independent and possibly a lesbian.
I'm not going to tell you to be one thing or another. That's not my responsibility. That's not my job.
No. You don't get to choose my sexual preferences. That's my life, not yours.
No, I can only.
Supposed to be fierce and independent, and not necessarily sweet.
You chose to be sweet. You chose the pink bubblegum hair. You chose the pink bubblegum lips. I chose the rose-tinted glasses.
Not right now.
No, now I'm sort of dressed down. For you.
And the charming starts again.
It doesn't ever stop. Believe me.
Wow, and not at all cocky. All right then. You know, I wasn't at all expecting this tonight.
We often do things. Oh, fuck it. So, what did you decide? You decide that you're going to go ahead and crash in your bed? Or you decide you're going to go join me in the floor?
Floor.
Bring out those blankets then.
I refuse to sleep without a pillow, though.
Of course, bring out the pillows as well. What do you think, I'm an animal?
She just stares at him at this point. Just like, really? One of those baleful stares. So many jokes to be made. You know, technically, there is an argument to be made for that. As she walks over and kind of pulls the curtain to one side. And you see this, it's like a full-size bed, and it's got, you know, a bright, like, lime green comforter on it. And she pretty much gathers that, and there's two pillows because it's that size bed. And then she walks over to, there's a closet by the door. She goes over there and grabs another couple of blankets. Not that it's really cold, but sometimes you want something underneath you too.
Mm-hmm.
And carries everything over. She has this gigantic armful that's like probably higher than her head at this point because she's 5'1". 2 pillows with all this crap piled on top. It's not even folded because the one comforter was just like on the bed already. She kind of tries to reach up real high and try to squish it down and peers at him over top of it.
Ellen's gonna go ahead and rush over. Okay. Just settle down. Settle down.
She's just gonna let go, just like drop the whole thing in a big pile.
Yeah. No, I'm good here. Alan says underneath the pile of blankets and pillows. No, I'm good. No need. No, fine. Fantastic. Great.
Oh, please. If blankets are going to take you out, then you should not be fighting out there.
Who said I was a fighter?
Oh, you
I
have
thought
to
I
be
was
at
a
least.
lover.
Well, at the moment, you seem to be more of a lover, yes. But, you know, I'm going to assume by, you know, more the basic thing that you are, the creature, the person that you are, there's got to be some fighting in there somewhere.
Yep. Not tonight.
Not tonight. Well, that's good to hear. I appreciate that. So you're not flipped out by the fact that, you know, if I wanted to, I could, like, get into your head? And you believe me? Do you believe me?
Do I believe you?
Yeah.
Let's just say that I have nothing to hide. So if you did have such an ability, I wouldn't be afraid. If you didn't have such an ability and you're just bluffing me, well, same outcome.
And then you just discovered I'm a liar, which could have its own problems, really.
Not really.
No, I will tell you the same thing that I told my sister. I won't get in your head without your permission. I can't say that to everybody, but, you know, I can tell you at least do that.
I don't need you in my head. At least not right now.
Sure.
Keep the invitation open. Hell, I'd ask you. Hell, I'd probably say the same thing to you once I finally learn that gift.
Fair enough.
You don't mind if I keep my socks on, do you?
If it's just sleep we're talking about, you can wear whatever you want.
Ellen's gonna go ahead and spread the comforters and the blankets on the ground, and to keep the sofa couch cushions rested against the what do they call this, a wall. Sort of set the pillows there as well.
That's a difficult concept, a wall.
Mm-hmm. And what he's going to do is he's simply going to go ahead and crawl under the covers and simply pass out. But doing so, he simply says, "Can you turn off the light?"
Only because you're such a great house guest. She rolls her eyes as she walks over to turn off the light. And then she goes back behind the little curtain that's still sticking out a little bit and changes like into like a big t-shirt. Because she's not sleeping wearing her jeans and whatever.
Ellen will be sleeping in his jeans, though.
Well, there you go. And I think that's, unless there's something else you wanted to say there, because you said you were going to pass out. I refuse to roleplay a scene where you are passed out.
But there's so many interesting RP opportunities there. I could snore. I could talk in my sleep.
Unless I'm going to do my neuromancy, then no. Just
right,
no. Yes, we're going to leave that as it is. And the two will curl up next to each other. I don't know the exact positioning. I'm not sure it matters.
Probably all spread out. All right. If you would like to give us a nice outro, I'll go ahead and press the button afterwards.
Describe the sleeping situation in a very pretty fashion?
Yes.
I don't know how good I'm at that, but sure. Yeah, after laying down and pulling the comforter over her, she just lays there for a minute, like looking up at the ceiling. The curtain's still pulled back, so she can sort of see the stars through the window over there. That's actually behind the curtain. And she's kind of just lays there, like puts her hands behind her head and stares out at those. Kind of just wondering at the things that life has brought on this particular evening. And her plants over there, you know, there's plants underneath the that's the one big window in this place. So that's where her plants are. And she's sort of kind of glances next to her, or he's already passed out. And she's starting to fade out. Yeah, breathe. And begins to ponder the best way to plant the marijuana seeds that she was given just earlier that day, as she slowly fades into sleep.
Good night, everybody.